Now, I'm a cab over guy, so we are definitely gonna take a look at some of these old cab overs. Look at that big bunk cab over. The guy that owns the Wilkins truck chrome shop here saw me out here flying the drone, and he says, man, if you want to go back there and walk around, you can. It's Wilkins truck chrome. And I was like, oh really? So he's gonna let me around. He said he's starting to list some of this stuff on the Facebook marketplace. Wilkins truck chrome. He said go to their website and you could check it out. But we're gonna go back here and walk around and see what we can see. But man, I've seen these trucks for years walking by, and to be able to come back here and walk around these trucks is pretty awesome. So we'll take a look at some of the history out here. Tanker heading out. Now, the last time I was here, I had to film through the fence, but being able to walk around out here is pretty awesome. Now, I'm a cab over guy, so we are definitely gonna take a look at some of these old cab overs. Look at that big bunk cab over. These here, you see the air cleaner? It runs up through the sleeper, comes out at the top up there. Boy, to have the money to restore one of these would be awesome. Looks like an aluminum frame right there. He says he's going to start listing some of this stuff on Facebook Marketplace, so try to find him on Facebook. Big bunk cab over there, Peterbilt. Now this is what I was talking about, the air cleaner. So you see the air cleaner's down there. See how it comes around the back of the cab? And on that big bunk, the air cleaner actually goes up through the sleeper there. Another big bunk. That's what I was talking about right up there. Man, to be able to walk around some of this stuff is pretty awesome. A lot of history out here. Old school history. Old Freightliner, white Freightliner right there. Here, we'll walk down here and look at some of the old ones. It's an old International Ford. Oh, look at this old thing here. I'm not even too sure what that is. If you ever get a chance over there at Walcott, Iowa, at the Iowa 80 truck stop, they have a truck museum. That's what I was trying to think of. Old Kenworth. I'm curious. I want to go look at that old sleeper over there, see what that is. 359 Peterbilt. I tell you, I am such a Peterbilt cab over guy. Oh, to have the money to restore one of these things would be awesome. I want to go take a look at that old sleeper. See what kind of sleeper that is. Alright, check out this old sleeper here. Take a look inside. Look at that little sink. Man, back in the day, this was big time right here. Like a little cabinet. It looks like a double eagle. These little latches. Double eagle's pretty good about using those little latches like that. Looks like it might have been converted for sleeper size at one time. See right there. But I'll bet you that's an old double eagle. It's that IFTA sticker, 2010. Yeah, that's an old double eagle sleeper right there. See the way it's wired right there? That's pretty awesome. Never seen this before. Vents on the back cab. Alright, let's go walk around. I think that's an old Mack. Old Mack tow truck. What's this? It's Peterbilt. There's an old cat in there. That looks like a Kenworth or a Freightliner. Truck frames. That's a Freightliner. Let's go look at some more of these old sleepers. I'd like to find an old Kenworth Aerodyne sleeper. I really like those sleepers. Here's another old Mack. B61. Take a look at this cab over here. See if the door opens. I don't want to mess with it too much. There's an old 5-ton wrecker. I drove one of those in the Army. Interesting. I don't see any Kenworth Aerodyne sleepers. Let me see if this one will open. There we go. Give you a look at an old cab over. They were so simple back then. So simple, easy to work on. Here's the old Peterbilt cab over. That's what I was talking about, the air cleaner you see on the top up there. See how it runs through the sleeper? Boy, back in the day, man, that was the thing right there. All right, let's make one more walk through and then we got to get going. Hey guys, remember the last time I was here, it was in the dust storm. Being able to come back here and walk around these old trucks, I'm telling you, that is pretty awesome. Man, that style, the big bunk Peterbilt cab over. Oh man, I really like that. like that. Interstate Express, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oh, if these trucks could tell stories. Look at this old Peterbilt here. Wow, I don't even know what year or anything that is. Valve clearance. Old Cummins motor in there. Look at the belt drive air compressor on there. Wow. All right, I gotta get back to work.
You said, son, when you grow up, you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your mind. Life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you like it or not.
All right, we're over here in Walcott, Iowa. I talked about yesterday, if you get a chance, come over here to the truck museum. And that's the truck museum right there. So we're gonna go inside, look around. It's free to go in and walk around and do a quick pan around here. Pilot across the street. That's the Iowa 80 in the big parking lot. We'll kind of walk through here quickly because I still got to get on down the road a little bit. It's been a while since I've been in here, and I think they have expanded this quite a bit in here. But let's go find some interesting trucks to look at. 1966 auto car. United Van Lines Horizon. When I was in the household goods in Arizona, that was our competition, was United Horizon. They used to have a commercial called the Horizon Moving Man, dressed up like a Superman. 1954 Diamond T. But you can see all the trucks in here. You could spend quite a while in here looking around. International. When I was walking around looking at the old trucks yesterday, kind of reminded me why I started driving a truck. I started driving a truck because I love trucks. The money was never really a thing about me. I just enjoyed driving a truck, the challenge of driving a truck, being an owner-operator, maintaining a truck. Good looking Kenworth there. $19.49. There was one in here. I think I saw it back over here in the corner. There it is. This old Kenworth. think it's a K100. I remember reading about this truck. There used to be a magazine called American Trucker. I think that was the name of it. And this truck was in there quite often. I'll zoom in there. You guys can pause and read all that information. V8 Detroit diesel. Yeah, I remember seeing this truck as a teenager. K100. Yeah, this is one I wanted to come look at. All right, let's look around a little bit more. Good looking International. 1964 International. CF. CF Freightways, Consolidated Freightways with a set of wiggle wagons. Yeah, they expanded all this. This back here wasn't here last time I was here. Another Kenworth cabover. Yesterday was all Peterbilt cabovers. Today, Kenworth cabovers. '56 Peterbilt cabover. Man, back in the day, boy, that was something. Peterbilt next to it there. I got my jacket on. It's cold up here in Iowa, and my jacket makes noise. My squeaky tennis shoes on the floor. '31 GMC. Oh, that thing looks like a monster right there. GMC cabover. The old GMC cabover, man, it has to grow on you. That windshield that goes way down like that. You look at them now, they're pretty cool though. Oh, Astro. Smoking a Bandit. GMC General. If I remember right, Smoking a Bandit 2. I think it was 2. He was driving the GMC. It's a good looking truck. Another look at that Kenworth cabover bullnose there. Yeah, we'll walk down the other side and we'll gotta get going. Alright, we'll walk down through here real quick and we gotta get going. But if you ever get a chance, come on out here and check this place out. You can spend quite a while reading all the information, looking at everything. Bunch of Macs right there. Almost got skis on it for the snow. Imagine this truck coming up here, pulling up to your house, load up all your furniture. It's pretty interesting. What is that? Fagel. Another look at that auto car right there. See the Cummins diesel power on the hood. Coca-Cola truck. Alright, that was kind of a quick walkthrough, but if you get a chance, come check this place out. It's pretty good.